In this video I'm going to be doing the seals on the half shafts, both sides. First thing we've got to do is pull the brake drums off. Now there's an easy way to do this, or there's a hard way. Someone's tried to do it the hard way before and they've chipped a few bits off the edge. I'll show you the easy way. You will need a big screwdriver, 11/16 spanner, a 5/8 socket, a couple of 3/8 UNC bolts. These are all over the track. You can take them off all these cases here and use them, but I've got a load of spare ones I bought for when I was doing the cylinder, the liner replacement on the block. So I've got some left over. Anyway, that's what we're going to tackle. So hopefully by the end of today, I'll have these all off, the seals changed. I'll probably sandblast all of the drums and the back plates and get them ready for a bit of primer, clean up the brake shoes, see what they're like, etc, etc. And this is how we start it. So the first thing to do is have a cup of tea. Right, so the first thing to do is back off the brakes. So the adjuster is at the back of the drum. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. So you turn it anti-clockwise, you can back the shoes off, and then there you go, that now spins. So that's now loose. Next thing is a screwdriver. And there's normally 2 screws on here. This has only got 1, obviously the other one's been lost. I have got 2 brand new ones to put in when I put it back together. Obviously I want to keep these because there's nothing wrong with them, they just need a clean. So there's our screws in the pot. Now, the previous owner of this tractor, or along its life somewhere, on the other side had tried to bash or lever the brake drum off. There is an easier way. Let's just get a WD-40 and just chuck it in them threads there. So there's 2 3/8 UNC threads in there, and then bolts go in there like that. A little bit dirty, but should still work. And then all you do is you pull the drum off. Use that to just a little bit of time go, and the drum will just come straight off, no problems. Look at that. I don't know how long it's been on there for, and last time it was looked at, but that's how you get it off without smashing it to bits. And as I say, these bolts you can just use, take a couple out off the tractor or just buy some. I've bought some because I'm doing a few of these little tractors at a time, so that's that. So that is now loose as a goose go. Be interesting to see what it's like inside here. Probably filthy. Go. That one doesn't actually look too bad. The adjusters look a bit pony. Yeah, I'll give them a good old lube up. Sorry about that. Anyway, that's this side off. The other side's exactly the same, obviously. Next job to do. Pull the brake shoes all apart, and I'll put them in my parts washer and then give them a little bit of a blast, I think. And then we'll see how much meat's on the shoes as opposed to a new set. Determine whether we're going to put new ones or just clean these up and put them back. Anyway, that's that first bit done. So the other side's exactly the same, so I won't even bother videoing it. The next thing you're going to need is a 1/2" socket to take the shoe, these 2 nuts that hold the shoes against the adjuster there and stop the shoes floating around in there. So they come off. Come on, you bugger, give me the socket back. punch that nut out, otherwise I can't use it for the other bit, can I? 2 seconds, Gov. Right, got that little bugger off. Nice catch room. Quite rusty. But remarkably, the threads aren't rusty. So the last tractor I did, the threads were so rusty they snapped off and I had to remake them. These have come off nice, so that's good. That's those off, now those shoes are floating. Next thing is get the springs off, and then we pull the shoes off out of the way. And I should give this a bit of a blow off, it's very, very grubby in there. Very grubby indeed. Anyway, let's pull these springs off. So this first spring's really easy, it's a nice light spring, so that comes off a piece of wee-wee. However, the next two are big fat buggers and are more of a prick. So we may use a screwdriver and ping them off like that. That one don't want to ping. I might buy new springs, I'm not sure what these are going to be. That might ping now. Come off, you bastard. There we go. Ping. That looks a bit seized as well, don't it? There's actually quite a lot of meat on these shoes, so I'll probably just clean them up and put them back in, I don't know. We'll see. So you can buy new brake linings, but you have to rivet them on. And I have got a set if I do need them. So we'll wait and see about that anyway. So that's that all off. I'm going to give it a little bit of a clean out because it's a bit filthy. And then we'll look at getting the back plate off. And I do need to remove this this bar here. So I'm going to have to take all that linkage off as well, both sides, which also needs a clean up. Right, and there's a nice little adjuster. Now what sometimes happens on these is if these are loose, these bolts here, the brake shoes can flop around and this jumps and it will just wear big gouges out of this and it won't work anymore. Fortunately this one's good, and so's the other side, but they do need a bloody good clean because they're a bit grotty. That's good. So far, I'm a happy bunny. So far. So I've just pulled off the brake pedal on this side. You can see that. So I've pulled that one off. It actually came off really easy, which I'm quite surprised. Someone's modified it back in the day, and they put like a handbrake on it, hand lever. I'm not going to put that back on. I'm just going to have the foot brake. So yeah, that came off very, very easy, which is surprising. And I do need to free it off a bit though. I think it's a little bit tight in here, but I shall take this all apart give it a bloody good clean and a grease up when it goes back on. Now this allows this to come out of here. There's a spring on there. I'm going to take that key out. Wait. Just give him a little nudge. Just going to get a punch that key out, then that spring will come off in the washer, and then that slides out, and that can be cleaned up. Right, that's all the brake linkage off now. That can all go in the sandblaster and degreaser. That's all those bits. Brake shoes off. I should pull this back plate off next, so that's 6 bolts around the back. And they should be that size, 11/16. So I'll whizzle those out, and then this half shaft should, being the operative word, come out. I've had these all soaking as well in a bit of penetrating oil, because I thought they might be tight, but either the penetrating oils worked wonders or they were okay. Anyway. Ooh. Most of them come out with the studs. That one actually will not come off, that's good. So anyway, I'll get this off and then we'll come back. So, get a little bit of residual oil, but just give that a few taps. That is coming off. So now, she's free. Now, let's pull this half shaft out. She's a grunty old bugger, isn't it? That's for sure. And this is going to obviously make sure we get all the old crap out of this gearbox as well. Every last drop of old sludge will be out, which is nice. Right. And there we go. There's our half shaft. She's big, she's very big. There are some shims on the back of here. I think that's how they must adjust the wheel bearings with shims, but yeah. I shall give this a good bloody clean up and we shall fit the new seal. Quite noisy outside they are. Anyway, I'll pull the rest of this apart and give it a clean. So that's been in the degreaser. Just going to take the rest of these studs out now as well. Because we are going to put this in the press to split this up. So it was a bloody good idea to buy one if you're playing with these little buggers, isn't it? But again, probably not worth it if you're only doing one. Make a friend. Right. That is out. once I've got it apart a bit more, I'll put it back in the parts washer and get the rest of that crap off. But anyway, we're nearly there. Next thing is I'm going to set up my press to push this out down that way. Support there. Pull this bearing off, and we should reveal the seal on the other side. Anyway, to the press go. I've got that set up in a press. Hopefully it's going to hold together, but it's wood. Wood's not the best thing, obviously, but that's what I've got. And I'm just going to put some blocks of wood underneath, so when it does go, it don't just bloody fall on the floor. It should just actually go to there, but just in case, don't want to damage the threads. Anywho, let's get that. See if it's going to go. Just starting to move. It got up to 2000 psi, which apparently, it's under 1 ton. So, oh no, sorry, 2000 psi, 6 tons. Can't be right. Anyway, it's coming in now. Obviously it's going to have to go back in the same way with the press. I'll have to put some more blocks of wood because I've bottomed it out. Anyway, it's going, that's the main thing. Let's get a couple more bits of wood underneath there and that'll come out the rest of the way. But that's how you do that, isn't it, ladies and genitals? That is now apart, so I'm just going to pull it apart on the bench and give it a clean. That old seal used to run, it's a bit minky. Not terrible, but I'm just going to give it a little bit of a clean up with a bit of 600 emery cloth. Just give our new seal a better chance of holding back the torrent of oil, won't it? Mate of mine said he can't hear on here, so I bought a microphone thing that goes on your lapel. Trouble is I haven't got any lapel, so I don't know where I'm going to stick it. That's better. Still got a mark where the old seal was running, but it's 100 times better. That's all degreased now. So now I'm just going to punch out the old seal. That's the old one out. Give it a bloody good clean. Give that a clean and come back. Right, old seal's out and that's all clean. Now you can get a kit. I think the part number's S42078 from Sparex, however bleeding how you say it. But that comes with a new spacer. The oil seal, and I don't know why it comes with that one, because I'll be buggered if I know where that goes, but no doubt I'll find out. It's a smaller seal. Anyway, I'm going to put this one back in. Might be raining a little bit. It was beautiful and sunny a minute ago. Give it a minute, it'll be probably snowing. Anyway, here's my new seal. and different to the old one. The old one was leather and whatever. So there's our new seal, and again remember the spring side goes towards the oil like that. That goes on our housing. I'm just going to knock this in, use a little bit more to go. I've got to find something that diameter to knock that in a bit, but I don't want to damage it. Let's use that old seal, shall we, Gav? But I don't want to get it stuck. No, right, I'm going to go and find something big enough to act against the edge of there, so I can push that all the way. I can't find anything the right diameter, so I'm just being very gentle with this punch. Just do it right on the edge. And that is all the way back home again, Gov. Right, that's good. So that other seal that comes in it is this one, but it doesn't fit on this shaft. I don't know why it's in there. Maybe it's for another tractor or something, I don't know, but yeah, who knows where it goes. Maybe it might even go on the other end, don't know, but I won't be using it. Chuck it in there. Nice bit of blue grease, isn't it? And I've ordered gaskets for this, but they're not here yet, so I might just make some out of me leftovers from me other lot of gaskets that I was playing with. Obviously this runs in oil, but this isn't going to work, is it? Marvellous. Right, put him back in there. Feels like a happy little bearing, that does. And then, as I said, it comes with another new piece, which is that. We'll pop him back in a minute, and then this can go over the shaft, so that goes there like that. Whack a little bit of grease around here as well, where that seal runs. And then where that bearing goes on the shaft and all. Bit of lube. Then we should have to press it back in again. But anyway, that's that bit done. Now all that can go back together. That's our sealing. And that. So all I need to do now with this bearing is push this collar back on to hold it all together. So I've got some bits and bobs I use for that. Big old lump of tube there, and another bit of tube. So go and just press that on, and then we're ready to put the back plate on and chuck it back on a tractor. So we're using our press. That bit of cloth around here is just to stop any crap running bearing out of this tube. But yeah, we've got to push it on a fair way yet. So we'll just give it a few. I've got a little block of wood underneath there, so that's the groaning and crunching. And I'll know when it's right up because the pressure will increase. I think I might be there, Gov. Yeah, you might be there. I do need to get another piece of tube for this because I'm just using exhaust on the other bit and it's a bit weak. But that's all I've got at the minute, so I will get something else a bit more beefier. So it's taking quite a bit of push on, but it's going on. I know you can do this with oxy-acetylene, heat that ring up and drop it on and let it shrink, but I haven't got an oxy-acetylene set. So I'm doing it this way, I think, on there. It took, how many tons did that take to push on? Was it just under 2,000, about 2,400 psi we were at there, so it's about 6-7 tons to push it on. But and that is now on all the way. Again, my little bit of rag has protected our bearing from all the crap. Now that it should be in the right place, isn't it? So I've got the shim that goes on the back side of the plate. I'm going to use that as a template on these offcuts of gasket paper from last time, ain't it? One. I'll do the same on this one. There we go. So there's my templates. All I've got to do is chop them out. Just off these gaskets, cut them out. Nice sharp knife. Absolute piece of wee. So no excuse not to put it together, is there really? And I'll find my punch in a sec and do the holes, and then I'll put this side back together. Then I'll do the other side, but I won't film that because it's exactly the same as this. And there's no point sitting through it again, is there? Don't you know what? But rest assured it'll be done. There we go. I'll go and find my little punch and I'll punch those out and then I'll put it. There you go. 2 replacement gaskets. So I'll start putting it back together. I've put all these parts through the old blaster. That's our back plate. So that can now go onto there. And then that can go back on a tractor. And then all this will be painted once it's all together. I'll leave the shoes off and everything. Brake shoes are a bit shit, so I'm going to pull the linings off, which have been replaced in the past, and they've been glued on. So I'm going to peel them off, clean them up, and put my new linings on. And I'm also going to skim the brake drum because it's a little bit pitted. So I've just got to drop the bed out of my lathe, then that drum will go in. Then I can just take a light kiss off of it. Then the drums will be like new as well. Anyway. Going to chuck this back on here, and then this can go back on the tractor, and that's one side done. It's even better if you put it around the right way, like that. There you go. So that's that. And then there's some shims to go back on here as well, which I'll grab in a sec. There we go, there's our unit. I'll go and get those 2 shims, and I'm going to put a bit of sealant around them as well and then pop them on. Would you believe it, it's only raining again. How unusual. Yeah. Anyway, next thing is to slide this all back in. Now make sure we get our plate in the right place so that the adjuster's got a bit at the back. That's located again. It feels bloody lovely. What I've got to do now is put the nuts and washers back on, and we're there. Right, so that's that side all totally nipped up and done. Obviously I've got to do the brakes and whatever, but that'll be in another video. So that's the way I do the half shaft seal and bearing. This bearing was fine, so I didn't replace it. Had a couple of little kind of stains on it where it had been sitting in like swamp water or something, but it was actually fine once I cleaned up a little bit, wet and dry, bit of emery cloth, all the marks went, so that's nice and it feels lovely and shouldn't leak. So thanks for watching, innit?